Now back to John and Chris and what I learned on Gilchrist Drive.
Man, Kid Rock, Ludacris, Cypress Hill, The Roots. It's going to be badass. I imagine I'll be passed out in the bushes someplace. Nice urine stain on my pants.
The concert report not brought to you by Carol's Linens.
She won't let us have it. What's the matter with that woman, man? I understand they're moving or they're opening up an outpost of sorts, so she's just got way too much linen. She just can't handle it all. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah. I know you can specialize in linen, but she's been around a long time.
She has been around a long time, moving all over the place.
80 or something by now.
I don't know. That's a good-looking 80-year-old woman, though.
She's got a little store not too far from my place, North Macon.
Yep.
I guess it's one of those little depots or outlet stores.
I guess. I know she's right there next to the pet supermarket, right there on the corner of Tom Hill and Northside.
Does she? She's also got a place over off Forsyth next to Barbaritos and Firehouse at the Prado Shopping Center.
Damn, woman's going to own everything, man.
Yeah.
We need to jump on board.
The show's not brought to you by Carol's Linens. 30 years.
So what's going on? Because it's so nice outside. We should be playing golf, but instead we're screwing around with this. And hopefully entertaining at least our demographic of the two people that sit around the house in their underwear. Comic book guy.
We might. I was just thinking about some the rare occasions I spent in school suspension and detention in Northside High School and Northside Junior. And I thought, what about Chris Davies' top 5 in school suspensions?
Oh, and don't think any less of me. I spent an awful lot of time in detention. I mean, it's pretty obvious. We were doing what we could do to really make things hard on the educators, and we succumbed to in-school suspension a few times, at least a few times.
What's one that pops out in your mind that got you in trouble? Now, you were just telling me about how you had to finish your high school career.
Yeah, I pretty much did. Yeah,
last month of high school.
yeah, sitting in a box. And coincidentally, we talked about the big drug bust in Houston County with a lot of educators that were involved. And
that meth bust.
Right? Yeah,
that was a couple months ago.
Yeah, the coach I sat in there with Coach Stewart for a good month. I mean, he was a nice enough guy. I guess he was just mellow because he was on Quaaludes. But I'd gotten in a lot of trouble that year, like I did every other year. And the incident that really broke the camel's back was, I was working at the Piggly Wiggly at the time, and we got a bunch of stuff to throw away, and I threw away a case of bug bombs. Well, I went back and got them because I thought, well, I'm sure we can do something.
I can do 100 things.
I know we can do something dastardly. We can light all this shit on fire and never really cause people a problem.
Exterminator.
So we went in one of the upstairs bathrooms and set off half the case, and they had to clear the hall, and eventually some asshat knocked me out. So I went and sat with Special Ed Dyson, who is still a prick these days.
Ed Dyson, yeah.
But anyway, he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. He told me I could either leave school immediately or I could spend the rest of the year in school suspension. So I did. I spent 27 days of the very last of high school in school suspension, staring at my cubicle. And the art teacher who took an interest in me because he was a fellow artist, he kept bringing me things. And he said, "Chris, I know you're sitting in here doing absolutely nothing. You need to further yourself." And so, I learned about Degas and the backs of my eyelids occasionally. And let's see, there was the time when I tried to drive my car. There was that front porch out in front of Northside there, and I tried to drive my car up the porch
into the living room with the entrance.
Yeah, and special ed caught me again. I mean, this is before cameras and whatnot were all over the place. But he had this radar. He knew when I was screwing off really bad, and he came around the corner all the time. So there was that. Now, I do remember, sophomore year, there was, Dr. Moore. She was hearing impaired. She had a couple of hearing aids, and she didn't hear very well. But I had racked up more days of detention than we had been through days of school already. And the first couple of days we were in there, I was there with Dan Norman and a couple other people, and we were being pretty raucous and pretty filthy and saying things that we didn't think she heard. So toward the end of the second, third day, she looked up at us and she said, I've been listening to you guys this whole time.
You're terrible people. You're awful.
After
There is no hope for you, Chris Davies. You are beyond repair.
Solid discussions about the assistant principal's minge.
She's like wearing garlic and crucifixes. This boy's possessed.
She knew what time it was. She did. She knew exactly what time it was. And let's see, the time in detention where somebody threw an apple at me and I batted it away, and the teacher that was handling detention, she got caught in the crossfire. And needless to say, I got to take a couple of days off from school back then. But hey, stay in school, kids. I still graduated from college, even though it took about 12 years. I got finished. And
Dr. Chris,
look at me now. I mean, really, this kid is bulletproof.
Winning.
Yep. Now, didn't you spend some time in school suspension yourself? Which, for the people who've never experienced this or don't know what it is, you sit in a cubicle all day. You get up, you go eat lunch. It's like the chain gang, but it's the public school system chain gang. Weren't you there at some point?
Yeah, I can't remember why I went Northside Junior. Maybe I hit John Beasley's head against a glass window.
The bees. The bees. If the bees is out there right now, would you want to apologize to him, or would you want him to not know your name? Because maybe he's got a list on his wall of all the people he's eventually going to sniper. We're probably on it.
I don't think John Beasley's coming after me.
You don't know that, man.
Now, one time I got in trouble. Who was the principal at Northside Junior? Chapman, is that?
Oh, yeah, Harold Chapman. He was he light in the shorts, or was it just
light in the shorts?
A little light in the shorts, or was it just like?
What does that mean?
Hey.
Well, I went to school with his daughter, but that doesn't necessarily mean he wasn't light in the shorts.
Yeah, no, but hey, things happen, All it takes is one trip to the White Swallow, and he's hooked.
So I get in trouble for bringing a lighter to school.
A lighter.
Yeah, so I said, no, look in the manual, look in the rule book. There's nothing in the rule book about a lighter. So he's like, he whips out the rule book, and there wasn't. So he found something that said, no, you can't bring fireworks. And he looks at me and goes, well, that works fire.
Oh, my God.
Boom, judge, jury, and execution.
See, that is a pile of bullshit. Now, there was a time when I was in the 11th grade or so, and something happened, and it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I wasn't. This is one of the times I wasn't involved. They put
I believe you. I don't know why.
They put a live lobster in the trophy case, and then when they took it out, then they put a sign back in there that said "Missing one live red lobster. Answers to the name of Murray." I had nothing to do with it, but they swore to God it was my handwriting. And so,
handwriting expert.
I'm sitting in. I know. I'm sitting in there, and the Johnny Cochran my ass. They eventually, after we went round and round about it, he looked at me straight in the face and said, "Don't think about it as getting caught for something you did. Think about it as getting in trouble for all the times I didn't catch you doing it." What the hell? What is that?
What kind of backwoods southern logic is that?
Yeah, see, those
I'm not a big city lawyer. Seems to me.
My defense team included Colonel Sanders. And that screwed up ass, that giant Muppet. Was that thing's name the Beast? That's what I had on my side.
The defense team of the damned. No, sir, you're out of order. This whole court is out of order. I'm going to put the whole system on trial today.
The defense team of the damned.